According to a recent industry survey, digital distractions account for nearly 60% of workplace interruptions and cost more than $10,000 in lost productivity per worker per year. At least one boss is shifting her employees' focus. As we hear from medical correspondent Dr. John LaPook.
For architect Deborah Burke, the breaking point was watching two employees texting each other instead of talking.
Their backs were maybe 6 feet apart, and they were communicating in this lengthy IM text.
Burke felt all the emails, texts, and web surfing were sabotaging creative thinking.
Constant interruption, which cuts your time into these little slivers of concentration punctuated by distraction, you make dumb mistakes.
Nicholas Carr's book, The Shallows, explains how the internet has damaged our ability to focus.
There's definitely an emerging concern in a lot of companies that people simply aren't getting the work done at a very high level of quality because they're being interrupted so much.
If I'm reading an article and the phone rings and then, oh, an email, I may never get back to what I was doing.
Burke and her partners decided to restrict email and internet use. The rules? You can check email each morning, at lunch, and once again before you leave for the day. Internet use is only for research. And no multitasking. At first, her staff was pessimistic about the experiment.
I thought it was crazy.
I find myself unable to observe the most basic rule we recommended, which is to not check email the first thing you do in the morning.
I don't know, I just feel like you need to be connected.
We wanted to see what would happen, so we returned 9 months later. Without exception, Burke's employees called the experiment a success.
I'm not constantly shifting from one task to another. I'm able to put more thought into an individual task.
Even those initially skeptical had to admit it was working.
I thought, how could we not email?
And now?
And now I think it's possible.
I do think if you can temper your kind of compulsive checking of messages and shifting of focus, you can unlock some deeper sources of creativity and conceptual thinking.
For Burke, it was all worth it when a young employee recently walked into her office carrying some drawings.
And said, I would have emailed you before, but now I'm coming and we're going to sit together and talk about my design. That showed, that we're on the way to succeeding.
And a lesson that sometimes less is more. Dr. John LaPook, CBS News, New York.